often, where should I buy property? Shall I buy property in an upwards trend market or in a downwards trend market? Actually, the question that comes to people is a question with how can I buy safely in a downwards trend market? People are afraid to buy when the market's going down. Obviously, because as they say, don't hold a falling knife by the middle. Because in general, when you're trying to, you'll hold it and you'll cut yourself. However, when we look at markets and when we look at any kind of asset, let's evaluate where is it safer and when is it safer to buy properties. Let's agree on a few things before we start. What are things that we can never know and no one does know? The peak and the bottom. Now, take into consideration that this graph is not exactly like this graph. This graph is something like this. This is how the market moves. The market will never move in a straight line upwards or a straight line downwards, except for a very short period of time. Now, the things we all know is we will never be able to discover the peak or the bottom. This is the perfectly wrong moment to buy, the perfectly right moment to sell. And the bottom is the perfectly right moment to buy and the perfectly wrong moment to sell. However, what ends up happening is people buy in general while it's going up. So what happens here is they have greed. And then with time, when the property market starts going down, they get fear. And then with greed and fear, they buy with greed, they sell with fear. And as we said before, they repeat this until broke. So when they repeat this several times, the capital requirements and the capital they have goes down in value until there's no more capital. Now, when the market is going up, knowing or taking into consideration nobody knows this point, no one knows in this upwards momentum, are we here, here, or here? Now, relatively speaking, people in general, when the market starts going up, is a time they would love to buy. So if we talk about the rest of the graph, the market goes down and then it starts going up, and everyone here will be waiting for this point to buy. However, this point is only confirmed and can only be confirmed when the market pulls up, and pulls up consistently for a period of time. Because any of the market pull-ups here could be just a temporary pull-up, upgrade in prices, and then go down again. So what you need to watch is a market that have grown consistently for around 2 quarters, and then you would say the market is an upward trend and now I can purchase safely. What happens in that situation is that you've lost part of the possibility of profit, and nobody knows how far will the market go. So the market will go up by 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, or 50, or 200%. No one can really figure out how much will the market grow from that point of time. However, let's look at purchasing in a downward trend. Now, when the market have dropped, nobody knows where will the market go. And I'm sure people will respond to this video and say, you know what, there is places where the market have dropped to 30 to 50% of the replacement value of the property. In other words, it used to be at a peak and it dropped by around 80%. Yes, this is possible. The answer immediately is, I'm buying property, and the right reasons to buy property is an interval of time which is 10 to 20 years. On 10 to 20 years, have there been any of those situations where the market have dropped for the prices to become 30 to 50% of the replacement cost? And replacement cost is the cost of that property to be rebuilt, to be replaced. Have it ever dropped and stayed there for between 10 and 20 years? And the answer is no. So, if you wait for the market to drop, or if you are in a position which we are similar to today, the market have dropped by 30 to 55% depending on the area and the kind of property in our market in Dubai, and you say, will the market drop further or not? Nobody knows. Maybe it will. It may drop further by 5, 10, some people say 15, some people say 20, some people say another 30%. That's personal opinion. As we discussed before, nobody can really know how far will the market go. However, because this is not discoverable, if I buy today, where most of the times I'm buying at below replacement cost, if I buy today a property on Palm Jumeirah with a square foot price of 900 dirhams, I can guarantee you that you can't rebuild this property for 900 dirhams and reclaim the land. Yeah, it's reclaimed land. So, to buy that property at 20 to 30% below replacement value today is safe enough and is a safe bet, medium term and long term. So the answer to this, and it's clearly clarified in the write-up below this video, shall I buy property, or is it safer to buy property in an upward trend or in a downward trend? The answer is it's safer to buy property while the market is going down after a significant drop. So after the market drops this far, the prices become too good, and then you can safely purchase property. Can it drop more? Yes, it can. Will it drop more? Probably it may. Is that a disaster? Not really. But if I buy before a peak and it drops by 60-70%, although that's not the end of the world, it's a painful disaster most of the time. It's a crash. Enjoy your day. Make the best out of your property investments without emotion, or with as little emotion as possible. Dictate and utilize the scientific approach. Think about your investments and your capital in a disciplined manner. It took you so much work to get to that capital. Do not throw it away just because greed or fear have attacked you today. Again, enjoy your day.